Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to my podcast, Smashing Through with Rebecca.x. I am so excited you're here on this episode. Topics include life, business, mindset, full of kick-ass content and high energy. Enjoy the podcast, and remember, you too can smash through and keep going always. You want to be seen and heard. We all want that, right? That is one thing that human beings would love to experience. You want to be seen, you want to be heard, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a friendship, having conversations, whether it's in a meeting at work. You want to be seen. You don't want to be invisible in any way, shape, or form. You don't want to be ignored. You want to be heard. You want to feel as though someone's listening. And I mean actively listening to you. Not listen to them respond, but actually them being quiet and you sharing your concerns, sharing what's on your mind, how you're feeling, what's going on in your world. And for you to be seen and heard, you have to actually, be in a conversation with someone who is actively like that, who will allow you to express yourself. And you can get those moments with coaches and mentors like myself, but it's also the person. Okay, so not all people, not all friends, not everybody is like that, because in the back of their head, 9 times out of 10, in the back of people's head, they're just thinking, right, what am I doing? What am I going to say next? They're trying to relate it to something they've experienced so that they can actually relate to you instead of just listen. You know what I mean? Now, do you feel as though in your relationship, your friendship, at work, conversations, in business and stuff, you're not being seen? You're not being heard. You're not being recognised. You're not being, supported in any way. Because if you're feeling like that, I really would love you and encourage you to work on your mindset. Everything I do is mindset. I'm mastered in mindset, okay? So everything I do is mindset. And so what you need to do is really, really submerge in, okay, what's the source and core of this issue? Where is it coming from? Where does it stem from? Why do I feel as though I'm not being seen or heard or supported? Because you need to give it to yourself before you can get it off others. And I know that seems a little bit like, well, obviously I support myself, I hear myself, I see myself, all of this. But I think when and what I've observed in the many, many years of my career so far up to this point is that I can observe and see that when people don't give stuff to themselves like love or joy or happiness, they try and find it outside of themselves. And so what you need to do is kind of go to the source and core and go, oh, actually, you know what? When I was a child, this is an example. When I was a child, I was told that I should be seen and not heard. I can't talk, I'm too loud, I'm bossy, my opinion doesn't matter, this, that and the other. So then obviously, if you have adapted that as part of your character and who you are and stuff like that, you then continue it through being a teenager. So then that might affect relationships and friendships. Then into adulthood, which again, relationships, friendships, but then work, college, uni, environments, things like that. And so what you do, you then tend to become a mouse and not a lion. You then tend to not put your hand up in meetings or share your ideas, which could be actually gold. You know what I mean? And you actually dim your light because of something from way back when. And this is something that I really highly encourage you. If you're in this situation and you're experiencing this in your life, then I really highly recommend that you work on you, because as soon as you change you, your energy changes, your aura changes, your frequency changes, you're boosting your confidence, your mindset, your self-esteem, all of it, the whole package. You change. And it's incredible, because then You will put yourself forward for the promotion. You will put your hand up and say something. You will work on a project and be the lead on a project maybe, or something like that, you know what I mean? And it really is absolutely phenomenal and amazing when you can do the inner mindset work and the inner work for yourself in order to then change your life, transform everything. So if you feel as though you're not seen, not heard, not supported in a relationship, sit down with your partner and actually discuss it. Okay, actually speak to them and go, do you know what? Can we just have a conversation? But I don't want you to say anything. Just hear me out first and then tell me what you heard back. Because sometimes people don't hear you to hear you. They hear something different. You know what I mean? And when I say a conversation, I actually mean a conversation. I mean talking. I don't mean text messaging, because the written word can be taken either way. Okay, but you really need to sit down and kind of speak and get your thoughts across and your opinions across. But the other thing is, you may have an opinion or a value or a belief that's instilled from a broken part of you from when you were a child, from the experience that you had when you were younger, and you're bringing that forward into your real life right now, your current life right now. So that is where the mindset work comes in. So if you need anything to help you, I would definitely recommend my Anchor program, which is called Expansion. There are payment plans and everything. You've got it for life. You can do it whenever you like. And it's at Rebecca.x. It's a program and course. So if you really submerse into expansion, not only is it going to change your mindset, it's going to help you heal, it's going to rewire you, reprogram. It's really going to boost everything that you need in order to transform your life, your future, your mindset, everything, your relationships, your friendships, your conversations, everything. And you know, if you want to be seen and not heard, sometimes it can be really frustrating, right? You're trying to get across your opinion to someone, maybe in a relationship with someone, and they're just not hearing you, they're just not listening. And it's like, right, okay, and you love them, you don't want to end the relationship, but you can't keep going the way that you're going, you know what I mean? So I would definitely recommend Expansion for that. I've had so many people go through the program. They absolutely love it. They repeat it when they need to, when life lifes them or something happens or a certain situation. And basically it's my brain and my mindset all in a program, because I've been asked for so many years, you know, how do you do what you do? How do you heal so quick? How do you keep going always is my lifetime mantra. So how do you keep going always? How do you do the things that you do? Why is your mindset so strong, and how is it so strong, and how do you do it? So I decided to put everything into a program to actually help people, so that it's part of my legacy and it's out my head and kind of there for everyone. And it really is life-changing. So pop over to Rebecca.x, go and grab that, but know that you can be seen, you can be heard. And I also offer, private one-to-one sessions as well, in order to help with, belief clearing, mindset, changing life, healing, all of that stuff. It really is a passion of mine. It's, my certifications, and it really is wonderful to see the transformation that clients get. It really is so empowering for them, and it really lights me up that they've done the work, they do the work, they've done the work, and that they're getting the results, and it really is amazing.